we had a lot of meetings with Irene Khan, no? I met her at the welcome dinner. I met her at the DILG. I met her again in a meeting in Malacanang, and finally we met her at the exit conference. So we gave her all the information possible to show that we as a country, we know how to solve our problems, and the NTF ELCAC addresses a problem that is 52-year-old problem that has cost 40,000 lives and trillions of pesos lost to this insurgency. So finally, we have the solution, which is NTF ELCAC. NTF ELCAC has been so successful that it looks like we will have total victory over the CPP-NPA-NDF this year. They only have 11. They only have 11 remaining weekend guerrilla fronts all over the country, which was impossible 5 years ago. So now that we're here, Irene Khan wants it abolished for only one reason: red tagging. Yun lang yung inisyo niya, and we have assured her that red tagging is not a policy of government. It's something that other people do, and if it so happens that a government official does that, kasuhan nyo sa ombudsman, kasuhan nyo sa civil service, kasuhan nyo sa korte. That's what we were telling her. There are legal remedies available. Pero tinuloy pa rin niya. She called for the abolition of the NTF ELCAC. So doon kami na surprised and disappointed because her statements were like statements coming from the left, no? parang statement galing kay Marco Balbena ng CPP-NPA or from Bayan or from any of the left organizations, no? Junk the terror law, abolish NTF ELCAC, wala man lang nuancing. So ang sabi namin, okay, matapos na yung CPP-NPA tapos meron pa exploratory talks. So it's perfectly possible that if we are able to dismantle all of the 11 weekend guerrilla fronts, we can then transition NTF ELCAC to a Peace and Development Committee. So National Task Force on Unity, Peace and Development. That's the game plan. And we told her that, no? Pero ayaw talaga niya makinig. So, we have to also defend ourselves because the integrity of the ELCAC is being assailed. Kaya namin siya sinagot.
Okay, Yusek, what's the consequence of that? If the Philippine government does not listen or abide by the, let's call it suggestion or proposal from the United Nations Rapporteur, what's the consequence for the Philippines on that?
Actually, wala naman, no?
You
wala
don't have
naman
to listen.
because
Kumbaga, there are no consequences.
there are no consequences whatsoever because the special rapporteur is just a third-party individual which is sent here by the UN Human Rights Council on the invitation of the Philippine government. Apparently, the UN Human Rights Council requested that she be invited and we agreed to invite her. Okay? So, sasabi ko nga, I think we should learn our lessons from this entire episode. And let's be more careful about inviting foreigners to come to our country. And after 10 days, they feel already confident to find solutions to our problems. 52 years na po itong problemang ito, and then in 10 days darating ka and you will tell us abolish the NTF ELCAC. That is a disservice to this country.
You mentioned total victory versus the CPP-NPA this year. How does this square with the rectification papers that was released by the CPP-NPA? They basically saying that, okay, there were exploratory talks. Supposedly there was that agreement in Oslo a few months ago, and then but this now they're basically saying na tuloy ang People's War.
Yeah, that is a very good question, and I'm glad that you asked that question kasi I was also disappointed when I read that rectification movement campaign of the CPP-NPA. And if you read that document, it's a 29-page document. I took the time to read it. It's just a reaffirmation. It's just a reaffirmation of what they have been saying all along, that we have to continue with this war. This government is stupid. There's no use. There's no use because it's a class warfare, and their bourgeoisie and the proletariat has to win in order for government to be responsive to the people. So that was why our challenge to them is, if indeed you want peace, a political settlement, because we understand a political settlement is necessary. Because if we are able to dismantle all of the 11 weekend guerrilla fronts, yung iba kasi niyan, baka mag-underground lang, no? Pag nakita nilang gipit na sila, mag-underground na lang sila, tago-tago, and then find out and wait for the right conditions to rise up again. But if we enter into a political settlement, that will mean that they're all required to lay down their arms and begin a normalization process gaya ng ginagawa natin sa MILF now and ginawa natin sa MNLF before. So if you really, and with all the CPP-NPA, if you are really serious about these exploratory talks, why proceed with the rectification movement? Yun ang tanong eh. So again, their sincerity is under question.
Okay.
But just in case these exploratory talks fail, it will not be the fault of government. It will be the fault of the CPP-NPA because they are negotiating in bad faith.